What's going on YouTube? JT is born here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic reviews. And in this video, we're talking about the Boy Wonder issue number 3, or book number 3, I think, of 5 or 6. This one is written and drawn by Juni Ba, and the last 2 issues showcased him teaming up with a different one of the main Robins. The first issue was him and Dick Grayson, although Barbara Gordon showed up in that one. The second issue was primarily a Jason and Damian team up. This one is a Damian and Tim focused team up issue and just kind of showcasing their relationship. So he's going through each of the Robins. I think at some point they got to bring in Stephanie Brown to one of these because she was technically a Robin for a short amount of time. And I miss seeing Damian interact with Stephanie, like more than out of the Bat family members, I feel like we've seen the least interact. It's those two in recent memory. And I always like some of that. I can't remember who was writing. Was it Brian Q. Miller who wrote some of their stuff back in the day? That stuff I actually genuinely liked, so I'd like to see more of that, but maybe Juni Ba will give us that, or maybe not. But yeah, so this issue is primarily a Damian and Tim focused team up, and it's about them going to a gala, basically, at the Cobblepot building, or whatever this is here. Of course, Mayor Cobblepot is there. It's him dealing with the paparazzi. Damian is just disgusted by this whole display. He does not want to be there whatsoever. Tim is there putting on basically a whole public persona like, oh, yeah, that's great. We'll make deals like that with all these different, corrupt people. Even kind of like you see Cobblepot Penguin there, and he's really kind of drawn disgustingly. And seeing Mayor Cobblepot there reminds me of the show Gotham, or Batman Returns, of course, when he ran for mayor. So that's always kind of funny, like to see some sort of not a reference to that, or unless it happened in the comics first, I don't quite know. But I just think immediately back to that. At least Penguin, like I said, has that Danny DeVito-esque vibe, and it's rather gross and disgusting. So anyway, so Tim's off doing his thing. Damian's kind of disgusted by the whole thing, and the two of them have. Tim was kind of there to kind of assign to kind of watch over him, given what happened the last time Damian fought this little demon that's been terrorizing him and the people of Gotham. And there's still a little bit of uneasiness there. We see Damian's insecurities really on full display here with all the stuff going on. I do think this is my favorite of the 3 issues so far. It's kind of nice to see these two interact with each other, because like I said, I've gotten Jason and Damian quite a bit in recent years. Not too much, but him and Dick as well. I've had plenty of stuff, but there hasn't been really much with him and Tim focused. Now, there was a recent issue of Batman, but that was kind of iffy. But this one I think gives a better display there. So Damian's there. He goes and investigates stuff, and he eventually finds the demon he faced off in the previous issue. That's kind of like a bird and stuff. I wonder if it's like Ra's al Ghul's pet or something. Tim comes in to kind of help save him, and Damian kind of realizes that what Tim was doing earlier on was basically just a facade to conceal like his true intentions, and this kind of surprises him. We actually see Damian's growth progress over the course of these couple issues. He's trying to understand things a little bit more, but he still has those lingering voices for the League within his heads, and I think the way that's showcased in this thing, it's his need to be worthy, his need to kind of be the best and to be accepted, and that's just kind of at the heart of his character within this series. So I like what Juni Ba is doing with it. I think this is a good series. If you're a little less familiar with Damian, it kind of covers like who he is in essence, and it does so in a pretty decent job. And this is more so earlier Damian, not too like very first issue Grant Morrison stuff, but a little bit earlier on, not so much fueled by his need to be like snotty and snapping at everyone to the absolute extremes, but just his need to learn and just his insecurities are really kind of showcased here. So they kind of team up. Damian finds out the truth about Tim, but he's still, like I said, there's that whole weakness within him. But he does do something selfless, pushes Tim out of the way, and he's the one who kind of gets dragged under and ultimately confronts his grandfather once more. So, and I think that's his mom in the background. I don't know. It's kind of tough to tell based on the artistic style. So out of the 3 issues so far, this is the one I like the most. I think this had the strongest sense of character in it all. It was nice to kind of see these two team up, because I feel like there's more to kind of explore with this relationship that hasn't really been showcased too much in the comics. I mean, you compare it to all the stuff that Damian has had with Tim. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is just kind of that initial like meeting with the two characters and the disdain that each of them kind of had for one another earlier on. but like we haven't really had a more mature. So like Tim's a lot more mature in this issue than Damian is, and it's not like so much back and forth fighting. It's just kind of he's keeping an eye on him, and then Damian kind of realizes his true intentions, and things start to change a little bit more. So yeah, I mean, there's some good stuff in here. Out of the 3 issues so far, this one's the one I like the most. And I'm curious to see where we go from here with the next couple issues. So, what did you think of The Boy Wonder issue number 3? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. Hit that bell for notifications. That's going to be it for the DC comic reviews for this week. A few days late on this one. Same with Batman, but some days it's 4th of July week. Don't always have the energy to cover this stuff, or you just kind of forget. So, but I'm glad I read this one. I liked it, and I want to see where we go from here. So, good stuff. Good Elseworld stuff. All right, well, that's all I got to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.